Hi guys, I'm Dave Yandel, co-owner of Harbor Park CrossFit and one of the coaches here. This is video one of a 12-part video series to highlight our OnRamp program or our beginner classes at Harbor Park CrossFit. The purpose of this video or these videos is to show you that all movements are scalable and to highlight some of the key performances of each movement, some of the things that we're looking for. As we go through these videos, you'll notice that each day or video builds upon the last. It starts from body weight movements in this video, and it'll work itself all the way up to the Olympic weightlifting movements as we get closer to day 12. So in that sense, it gets progressively more difficult as the OnRamp program moves on. Again, all movements are scalable, so I'm going to demonstrate most of these movements as we write it up. But if there's any injury concerns or mobility issues with the client, the coach or the individual coaches will be able to work with you in developing a scalable program so you're still getting the benefits of the workout or the movement, and we'll get you ready to be able to do the full range of motion movement as we write it up. This is day one. So in day one, we're going to talk about 3 different movements. After our warm-up, we're going to talk about air squats, because it's the foundation of the squatting movements that we'll be using later, such as the back squat, the front squat, and the overhead squat. The reason we throw the air squat in the first day of OnRamp is to give you a good foundation of the squatting movements. In the air squats, some of the points of performance we're going to be talking about is a good foundation with the feet. We want to have the feet either just outside the hip, but generally right underneath your hips. You don't want to be too wide. This will allow you not to squat properly. So we want to make sure that those feet are nice and tight. That creates enough torque in the hips when we squat, especially with weight on our back, to be able to drive up out of the hole. With a lot of the movements we talk about in CrossFit, they're going to be full range of motion. Okay, so we don't shorten the range of motion. In a squat, for example, we're going to squat all the way down past parallel, and you'll hear that a lot when we talk about parallel. That means the hip goes below the knee crease. The reason we're doing that again is it's full range of motion. The body is designed to squat in this movement all the way down. This is how we're designed to squat. And in some cultures, this is how people actually eat at a dinner table. When we're born, babies actually play in this position. We're looking for chest up, the hips go below the knee crease, as you can see, big chest, and then all the way up. When we go through this movement, we'll demonstrate, we'll talk about it, and we'll have you put your feet underneath your hips. We'll have you point your toes slightly outwards. We just don't want it overly exaggerated. We're not pigeon toes, but you can point them out slightly. Again, to keep the chest up, sometimes I'll move to my side. To keep the chest up, we will recommend that you can think about blocking out the sun from your eyes, or you can cross your arms in front of you. Or if that's just too uncomfortable, you can just keep them at your side. Whatever's comfortable to you in this movement and allows you to keep that chest up. So we're going to squat. As we begin to squat, I want to keep that chest up. My butt's going to go slightly back, and we're going to squat down. Slow and controlled. Worrying about keeping the heels on the ground, and we're not rising up on the toes. I'll move to my side so you can see this. Nice big chest. As we descend, my butt goes straight down, chest is up, hips go below the knee crease. As you can see, my heels are on the floor, and we're not up on the toes. That is bad for the knees. And then we're going to drive up out of the hole. Some of the things you'll hear us talk about in squatting, whether this is back squats, front squats, overhead squats, or even the air squat, is drive your knees outward. When we squat, we don't want those knees to cave in. That would be very bad for the ACL and the MCL joints. They're designed to go out, so we want to think about as we squat to push those knees out over the toes. And then as we drive up out of the hole, we continue to press out on those knees until we stand fully. That is the air squat and the points of performance that we're looking for there. The next one is a sit-up. It's pretty basic. we change it up slightly in the variation of how we do it. We want to disengage the hip flexors and use all of the abdominal muscles. How we teach it here is we put the feet together in kind of we call this a butterfly sit position. We want to think about hands going forward and touching the floor, and then all the way back to touch the floor behind you. Back up and all the way through and touch the floor again. If you can't touch the floor in front of you because of range of motion concerns or issues, touching your hands to your feet is fine. And that's the sit-up. The last movement we're going to talk about in day 1 of OnRamp is the burpee. Everybody loves burpees. It's a joke. So the burpee is going to start standing. The first part is to get down on the floor, and your chest and your thighs have to touch the ground. It's basically getting down into a push-up position and then to a full standing position. At the top, we do a slight jump. We usually tell you to reach up overhead and jump. You don't have to jump 6 inches, 12 inches off the ground. A slight jump or hop off the floor is fine. From a standing position, when I say 3, 2, 1, go, you will get down to the floor. Now that is your choice how you want to get down. We teach either jumping and flopping down, jumping up, and then back down, and up. For range of motion, or if you don't feel like jumping, you can slow it down slightly. And the slowed down version is literally just getting down, hands down, walking those feet back into that push-up. Touch the floor, push up, step through, over, and back down. Either variation is acceptable. Those are the 3 movements of day 1. To recap, it's the air squat, the sit-up, and the burpee. Again, all movements are scalable to the individual based on injury concerns, range of motion concerns. But those are the basics that we teach here on day 1 of OnRamp at Harvard Park CrossFit.